Dan Illman and Mike Beer getting set to talk about the Kentucky Derby favorite. It's Justify. He's unbeaten. He's trained by Bob Baffert. He's run 3 times. He's earned 3 stellar triple-digit buyer speed figures, and he did this most recently in the Santa Anita Derby. He got to an easy lead, yes, but that's a very nice horse in Bolt d'Oro who's trying to get to him on the inside, and he really doesn't get within hailing distance.
No, he really doesn't. This was a big test for this horse, just to sort of find out. I mean, he obviously had a lot of hype surrounding him leading into this race, and he did go off at 4-5, but it was still going to be interesting to see what he would do against a really good horse in Bolt d'Oro. He did this pretty well. He got loose on the lead in this race, but it's not like, you know, he just walked on the lead in there. I thought that pace was legitimate for the distance, for sure. He looked like, to me, like he was pulling a little bit early in there, not that easy to settle. But once Bolt d'Oro tried to get to him, this horse was just never letting it happen. He wouldn't let a good horse into the race. That was a really nice performance.
All right, now the elephant in the room, the Apollo curse. What do you make of the Apollo curse? Do you think it's a bunch of nonsense, or does it automatically make Justify a throw him out in the Derby?
Oh, it can't make him an automatic throw just for that reason alone. That is ridiculous. Is there something to it? Probably not. I mean, I really feel like the thing that you worry about with horses like him is he just doesn't have, you know, all of that racing in bigger fields. And, you know, maybe some horses get that from, you know, being 2-year-olds. Usually if you're good, it means you ran in races like the Breeders' Cup Juvenile against a bigger field, and you get used to running in traffic and having horses in front of you and around you. Those things can come into play in the Kentucky Derby. Justify doesn't have that yet because he's run 3 times and he's so much better than the horses he's running against. There's no adversity for him. Does that mean he can't handle it? No, doesn't mean he can't handle it, but maybe it's a problem for him come May 5th.
He didn't break a sweat in his first 2 starts, and in the Santa Anita Derby he worked a little bit to beat Bolt d'Oro. Do you think he is battle-tested enough for what awaits him? In only start number 4, 1.25 miles, shipping for the first time at Churchill Downs. Does he have enough of that seasoning in battle? That's the big question.
I don't know. I don't know how you quantify stuff like that. I mean, this is a horse who, yes, he hasn't really been tested yet, but his talent's sort of undeniable.
No,
he's a really, really good horse. He's got speed. You know, does this Derby work against him for his running style because he wants to be forward? They go faster early. Maybe somebody gets in front of him, and then he's surrounded by horses. All those things work against him. Maybe it does, but listen, maybe it doesn't bother this horse at all, and he wins anyway. I don't know how it's all going to play out. That's why you have to always look at the odds and decide what kind of price are you willing to take on a horse like him.
The most important part of gambling any race, not only the Kentucky Derby, figuring out value. From a pace perspective, the Timeform US pace projector, the preliminary one, has him on the lead, which surprises me a little bit considering the Promises Fulfilled's basically been on a dead scent in all of his races. And I would think if Mike Smith could draw it up right now and light a candle and say a novena, he would say, I'm going to sit second off Promises Fulfilled and I'm going to attack on the turn.
That's what's known as a perfect trip, probably sitting up there tracking a horse who you're better than. So I'm sure that they would love to be in that position with Justify in the Kentucky Derby, and maybe they will be. Regardless of whether he's on the lead or just off it, he's going to be close. He's going to be right up there, and I'm sure that Mike Smith's going to try and get him out into the clear so he doesn't have to deal with horses, you know, right in front of him and surrounding him in the race. But the good thing about him, he's fast enough to get that spot. I mean, in all 3 of his races, he's shown plenty of speed.
Pedigree standpoint, is it there for 1.25 miles by Scat Daddy? Of course, his broodmare sire, the brilliant Ghost Sapper, could stretch his speed to 1.25 miles.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's got enough pedigree to get the 1.25 miles. You know, the Scat Daddies, I don't think they've been, you know, necessarily horses that you think of automatically that they want to go long, but I've seen no problem with some of them getting a distance of ground. I don't think if he loses the Derby it's because he didn't get the 1.25 miles.
But a must use in any kind of multiple race wager?
Right now, I don't see how you could really toss him out. I think he just might be the best horse.
He has been brilliant. That is Justify. 3 for 3 in his career, and he'll be the favorite on the first Saturday in May.